I hope you're ready, because this is a little bit jarring when you turn this corner. You are stepping onto the USS Enterprise. This soundstage is laid out exactly the way the original series soundstage was. Had you gone to Desilu 50 years ago, you would have found that the original series sets were laid out, interconnected exactly the way you are about to see them.
We put a lot of effort into trying to duplicate the sets as closely as possible to the original series in 1968.
When we first walked onto these Star Trek sets, it was incredible.
Now, the first room we're going to come to, if you see, that probably is the biggest clue that it's going to be sick bay. You walk through here, here is the whole sick bay. Now, I like coming back here because this is, and you swing around here, and this is the iconic shot that people remember of sick bay, right? We come out of sick bay, we take a left, and we find ourselves immediately at a short hallway. What's down this hallway? One of the favorite sets in Star Trek, the transporter room. The original transporter pads, these babies, were actually Fresnel lenses. They were movie lenses. We actually borrowed an actual Fresnel lens, the same size as the one they used, and then we did a resin casting of it. So all of these are resin castings of original lenses, and then we cut holes out of the floor, and we lit them from underneath. So we continue down the corridor, and this is really amazing here. If you start looking down, you can start seeing the whole big, bending, beautiful length of the thing. What's really special about this corridor is that you can shoot from either end, and you don't run out of space. I gotta tell you about this. This hexagonal mesh, it was all over the place in the original series. You saw it in engineering, auxiliary control. Well, when you decide you want to find it, it's really hard to find. It's very, very heavy, and actually what it is, it's grating that was used to support big cement pours. We continue down. Wall pieces like this, Jeff Johnson, one of our dear friends, built this. That kind of attention to detail, that if you just happen to catch things in the background of a shot, you're like, oh my gosh, that looks just like it. Well, a lot of time and effort went into making sure that that happened. You probably saw this sitting in the corridor in the original series. It was actually a ceramic pot, and it was kind of bell-shaped. And we couldn't really find one, no matter how hard we tried. So I actually bought, if you figured it out, this is a lampshade that's also bell-shaped. And we painted it, put a little detail on it, and it works just fine. Now, if you look to the right here, you'll see, dun-dun-dun-dun, the Jefferies Tube. This is an iconic piece of Star Trek right here. And again, several of our amazing artisans, Scott Granger, Ralph Miller, a lot of them put a lot of work into recreating this as beautifully as it is.
I think one of our most challenging sets to do was the Jefferies Tube. Here we took a 42-inch tube, had to cut it at a 45 degree, and then we had to figure out how to get it to stay at that 45 degrees, and it had to be 18 inches off the floor. It couldn't be 18 and a half, couldn't be 19, it had to be 18 inches off the floor.
I think it's time to show you the big enchilada. Just like in the original series, the bridge was set off in a corner by itself, just exactly the way our studio is set up. The bridge of the Enterprise. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So much work has gone into this, you guys. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Mike Bednar, John Broughton, the people at Farragut built this bridge a few years ago. And I came down to direct an episode for them, and we all hit it off and became great friends and decided we were going to do something together. The detail is unbelievable. The viewer, you want to hear something really nerdy? Most people, when they build this, it's just one solid piece that goes around and around and around. Oh, no, no, no. We have crazy people working here who are going to make sure it's accurate. All three of these discs rotate independently. All of these lights flashing back here behind these panels is the work of our master director of photography. Matt Busey is one of the most brilliant, wonderful people I know. And we came down here once and we're like, man, someday we need to get these lights flashing. And Matt made the mistake of saying, I can do that.
I started looking into how to illuminate these things, and everyone was like, well, just put Christmas lights back there. But I wanted to have the same kind of patterns that they had in the original show. The problem I found is that all the controllers on the market use a technique called multiplexing, which blinks the LEDs very quickly. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to teach myself electronics.
Of course, you step down here, you get to Sulu Station, Chekhov Station, and then finally to the captain's chair, which is everybody's favorite place to sit. When we have tours and visitors come to visit the set, they're mildly interested in the sick bay and they're mildly curious about the corridor, but everybody wants to see the bridge and sit in the captain's chair. For more behind-the-scenes action of Star Trek Continues, subscribe to the Wired channel.